Hi everyone, welcome to the School Improvement Institute steering team video for Update 1 and Update 2 schools. The focus of this video is on root causes and specifically how to update your root causes. So it's a pleasure to be meeting with many schools live on this webinar and then with others of you who are watching the archived version. So just a couple of odds and ends to begin with. First of all, in terms of our timeline, we're moving right along. In the first semester, we kicked off your interventions, so those are up and running. You updated your data in November, and then you evaluated your interventions in December just to see if the interventions did get in place and if they were preliminarily having the impact on adult behaviors that you wanted them to have. Then in January you updated your goals, so you updated your PAIs and your SMART goals. And the SMART goals, those are the goals that have very specific targets in them and specific student groups. The SMART goals are really what we're focusing on now. And we're trying to set up the rest of your school improvement plan to enable you to reach those SMART goals. So this month we'll start talking about the root causes. And the root causes, of course, are the things that get in the way of students being able to achieve in your school. So all of the work that you've done so far has prepared us to update the root causes that are in your school improvement plan. So before you talk with your council this month about those root causes, there's a few things that we need to make sure that you've done. First of all, we need to make sure that your root causes are in our online system from last year. That should not be any problem. And then we also need to make sure that your goals from this year, your updated goals, are entered into the online system. So those would be the goals that you have in place for 2017-18, the ones that you've just finished updating. So another thing we need to do before you meet with your council is to have the discussion with your student body. That discussion the summary of that discussion we will use in your council meeting. So the question for the students this month is just a very open-ended question. From their perspective, what's getting in the way of learning at our school? They may come up with some of the same things that they came up with last year, and things have changed, or they may be looking at things differently, so their perspectives changed and they may come up with new things. So just a very open-ended question, what's getting in the way of learning at our school? Okay, then we need to make sure that you're very happy with your achievement goals report. That part of the achievement goals report the council is going to look at before they do their root causes. So we know you've entered your priority goals and, your primary areas of concern and your SMART goals, but we just want to check to make sure, are they appearing like you want them to be? So I would just quickly open up your achievement goals report and take a look and make sure that it's how you want it. Okay, now if your goals have not been approved, so if you're a step or so behind, or you submitted things and we asked you to do a revision, if your goals are not approved, when you scroll down to the root cause section, it's going to look like this. The font will be orange and nothing will be linked. So as soon as your goals, your PAIs and your SMART goals for 17-18 are approved, then everything becomes hot and live in this next section. Okay, so if you see orange font, you know that's because you need to get those goals improved. Okay, so when you open your meeting, when you do that, just as a reminder, your council members get an email that tell them when your meeting is, and then we wanted you to be aware that in the email this month, we're going to be asking your council to do a pre-meeting task, and it is a pretty intensive pre-meeting task. We think it will take them an hour, probably closer to 2 hours. So basically, here's what we're asking to do. We're saying, as a reminder, a root cause is something that is interfering with your students' ability to reach our goals. Please review the data in the root cause reports below, and that they will take you an hour to 2 hours. And then we greatly appreciate the time that they're spending, and we do. We know that this is a time-intensive step as we're looking at data once again. So we want the council members to review your SMART goals. So when they click here, they're going to get your goals report that has your SMART goals listed. And then we're going to ask them to print a root cause help sheet, and that will help them look at the different root causes as they examine each of the reports. So let me just show you real quickly what that, I think I can open that up here. Let's see, where did I put it? Well, maybe I can't open that up right now. You'll have to see it in the council video because it comes with the email. So although I might have, hang on here, let's see. Yeah, we'll show it to you in the council video. But on that root cause report, what they do, I'm sorry, in the help sheet, what they do is they write any root causes that they find at the top of the help sheet, and then your school's goals, SMART goals appear down the side, and they check off the SMART goals that they think that root cause might impact. And then they write, at the bottom of the sheet, they write data that they found in the reports that would give evidence that root cause is really a root cause. And in the council PowerPoint and presentation that I'll show you in just a minute, it explains exactly how to do that. Okay, so then we give them links to each of the 7 reports that align with our elements of high achieving schools. And these reports include a lot of things. The survey data from the last time that you gave the survey, which for many of you was the year before last. Some of you it has been a couple of years, but it will pull up the most current root cause data, and then also your short answer questions for SI2 are also in those root cause reports. So they'll look at that, and then they'll fill out that help sheet, and they'll bring the help sheet to the meeting that they're having with you. So they will have done this data review before your meeting and brought their help sheet to the meeting so that you can start that meeting running. Okay, then I also wanted to make you aware that in this email that they get prior to your meeting, we also give them access to the drill down reports and all of the self-studies that you did. So if they want to, they can look into the drill down reports to try to discover achievement gaps and support gaps that exist for kids, to kind of further fine-tune and target your root causes, or they can go into any of these self-studies to look for additional root causes. Now, while we're making this optional for your council, basically just to save them time, but on your steering team, we need to make sure that at least one of you has opened up each of these reports and really kind of looked for root causes within each report. So I would divvy these up among your steering team, and maybe one person looks at the turnaround principles, another one looks at your Title I self-study. And again, if you're not a Title I school, this is, those reports will not appear. But we want to look at your school from the perspective of what other people think are important. So the turnaround principles, Title I, focus on priority schools, Indiana rules and regs, we'll be looking for any issues in those that you think you need to work on as a school. And then finally, in this email to your council, the very last thing says that if they're not able to meet with you face-to-face, then they should click here, and that will bring them to a place where they can enter their information online. So, so again, what we're talking about right now is an email that's going to be sent to your council as soon as you open up the meeting that will ask them to do this pre-meeting task. so that they've looked at all of the data before they get to your meeting and they can come in ready to talk. Okay, if they are unable to attend and they click this, that they want to provide their feedback online, then they'll be taken to a page that looks like this. All of the tasks that I just talked about is here on the right. The video that we present to the council will be linked here, and then there's just a set of questions that they'll answer that you'll be able to access to see their input if they're not able to attend your meeting. Okay. Then, after the discussion, there's a couple of things that we need to make sure happen. Before writing your root causes, we want to make sure that you consider input from the council. They will be considering an input from the student body, so when you're looking at the council's thoughts, you're also looking at how they responded to the student body. And then we also want to make sure that you have looked at those drill down reports and you've looked at those self-studies to see if there's anything else in those reports that jumps out as being an area that your school needs to work on. So, okay. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold. Let's see if we have any questions real quickly. That's kind of the setup on how to get ready for this meeting. Basically, you're opening the meeting and understanding that everybody's going to get an email that asks them to do a kind of lengthy pre-meeting task. So, Tina, any questions right now?
Yes, Stephen Boyer has his hand up.
Oh, I see that. Let's unmute Stephen. Very good. Stephen, jump in here. Question? Comment?
Hey, just a technical thing. Sue, could you go back to presentation mode on your PowerPoint? Some of the slides are hard to see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have.
Yeah, my bad. Slideshow. How's that?
There you go. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm glad you picked that up. Very good. Okay, Tina, any other questions?
That's all for now.
Okay, very good. Thanks for the tip. Okay, so let's look at the online system. I'm going to give this a quick refresh. Okay, so in the online system, you'll scroll down to past goals, and this part is where you've done your work up to now, and then into root causes. And remember that if this root cause section is orange, it means that you don't have your goals approved yet. So just reading through, we're going to participate in the steering team webinar. Watch the council video. We'll present that to you in a minute. And remember, we are recording this so that you can use it at the council meeting with me doing the discussion prompt. And then you'll stop the video and have your discussion. The video that we're recording right now, the steering team video, will be linked here. Then we want to have the student body discussion first so we can bring that information into the council meeting. And that's just pretty simple. You're just going to enter a summary of the discussion that you had throughout your school. So what were some of the root causes that the kids brought up that you think that the council needs to be aware of? Then we're going to open council meeting 4. So when I click on enter, just as a reminder, I'm going to open the discussion, and then here's where you email or where you customize the email. Will you have an in-person discussion as well as online input? And we are suggesting this year that your meetings are face-to-face. So you say, yes, I'm going to have an in-person. You're going to put in the date and the time, and then that further customizes the email that goes out. And then we're saying online input will open as soon as you click the send button. And then when do you want online input to close? So when do you want people who are not able to attend your meeting to be able to input information using the online system? When's the last date for that? And then you just click on send invitation, and as soon as you click that, all of the invitations will go out. I'm going to ask you to not do this step until the end of the day tomorrow. We are, as we speak, adjusting the email that goes out for your face-to-face meetings. And we'll send you an email letting you know that it's okay to go ahead and open the meeting. But we were hoping to have that finished by today, but our programmer had some other things that were kind of an emergency kind of nature, and we didn't get it done. So end of the day tomorrow, this will be ready. Maybe before that, but as soon as we have it ready, we'll give you an email. Okay. Okay, so we open the email, we open the discussion. Don't forget you can monitor the discussion. This just tells you who's participating, so you know if you need to kind of nudge people if you are expecting them to participate online. And then in the meeting, we're going to distribute a list of your current root causes before they've been updated. So you can just click this report to get that list and then just make copies and have that ready to distribute. And then this is where you enter the discussion of the summary, and then this is where you're going to update your root causes. So I just would click there, and this gives you a screen where you can delete the current root causes, or you can add new root causes. And notice that we have two sections here. Here are your general root causes, or the items that will impact all of your goals, and then the specific root causes. The specific root causes are organized by achievement goal. So I only have one achievement goal in for demo school, but you'll have several of these. Okay, so we're updating the root causes. Then you're just going to submit them for us to review. And before you do that, make sure that you review the rubric items to make sure that you're checking for the same thing that Tina's checking for before we submit those. So, okay. Let me jump back in as we're going back to the PowerPoint. Tina, any other questions?
We're good.
Okay.